Welcome back to the Quiet Adult. Tonight, I'm going to take you somewhere warm. There's no rush to get there, no destination you need to reach. Just let yourself settle. Let your body grow a little heavier with each breath. Let your thoughts slow down, like leaves drifting to the bottom of a still, clear pond. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to hold on to anything right now. Not your to do list, not tomorrow, not whatever happened today. Just this, the sound of my voice, the air around you, the gentle weight of your body sinking into wherever you're resting tonight. Take one slow breath in and release. Good. Now, let me take you somewhere. The sky outside has been the color of pewter all day. A low, soft gray, thick with clouds that have been promising rain since noon. And now, finally, the rain has come. Not a storm, nothing dramatic, just a steady, quiet rain. The kind that whispers against windows and gutters and brims of umbrellas. The kind that makes the whole world feel muffled and still. You've been walking for a little while, not far, and not without any particular urgency, just a slow wander through streets you half know, watching the lights come on in at windows, watching the reflections of lampposts stretch and shimmer across the wet cobblestones at your feet. And then you see it, a bookshop. It's tucked between a narrow alley and what looks like an old tailor's, its facade and color of faded sage green paint peeling gently at the corners. The sign above the door is hand painted in black letters, slightly uneven. Secondhand books and curiosities. Beneath it, in small letters, the words estimate established 1947. A warm amber light glows from inside. Through the window, you can see shelves, floor to ceiling, packed and dense, leaning slightly under the weight of all those years of stories. There's a small lamp on the counter near the back, and its light is the color of honey. You push open the door. A small brass bell chimes softly overhead, just once. The smell reaches you first. Old paper, dust, but somehow not unpleasant. More like the dust of time, of history, of 10,000 hands turning 10,000 pages. There's something else underneath it, a faint trace of candle wax, perhaps, and cedar, and distant suggestion of something floral, dried lavender, maybe, tucked between shelves somewhere back in the shadows. You step inside, and the door swings shut behind you. The rain becomes a murmur now, just a soft, steady sound beyond the glass, outside, where the cold is. In here, the air is warm and still and heavy with that beautiful, particular quiet that the only old bookshops seem to hold, as if the books themselves have absorbed so many hours of silence that they now only exhale it slowly and continuously, like breathing. You stand for a moment in the doorway, just taking it in. There's no one else here. You glance toward the counter. There's a handwritten note propped against the lamp in the same uneven handwriting as the sign. Back soon. Please browse. Mind the cat. A cat. You look around and notice. Eventually, a large tortoiseshell shape curled into an impossible circle on a low armchair near the back. Its eyes closed, its sides rising and falling in a slow, even rhythm of a creature entirely at peace with the world. You smile to yourself and you begin to wander gently beneath your feet. A sound so soft it's almost musical, like a note played quietly on a cello. Each step announces itself without apology, and somehow this is comforting. Old houses, old buildings, old things, they speak in creaks and sighs, and tonight you don't mind being listened to. The first section you enter is labeled Travel and Exploration. The label written in faded ink on a small card pinned to the shelf. You run your fingers slowly along the spines. The books, there are books from the 1920s with marbled covers and gilded lettering, journals from polar expeditions, a thin, battered paperback about a woman who walked the length of Turkey alone, a heavy, cloth bound volume simply titled The Nile, with a faded illustration of a boat on its cover drifting through reeds. You pull one out at random, a slender book, its pages browned at the edges and slightly wavy with old damp. Inside the front cover, someone has written in faint pencil, "For R, because you are braver than you know. M1958." You stand for a moment, holding it. You think about R and M. You wonder who they were. You wonder if R ever took the journey. You wonder if they were brave. You slide the book back gently, in exactly the right place. The rain taps softly at the window to your left. You can see the reflections on the street outside the glass, blurred and soft, headlights smearing into long gold stripes, the shapes of passing umbrellas ghosting past. You move deeper into the shop. The shelves grow taller here, the passages between them narrower, so that you have to turn slightly sideways to squeeze through. Overhead, a string of small, warm lights have been looped between the shelves, barely noticeable, but their light catches the gold lettering on spines and make them gleam. You stop in the section labeled Natural History. A whole shelf is dedicated to birds, illustrated guides, hand-painted plates, a collection of Victorian ornithology texts with impossibly detailed engravings of feathers and beaks and specific curvature of claws. There's one book, larger than the others, that fall open in your hands to a full-page watercolor of a barn owl in flight. Its wings are spread wide, impossibly white and silent, and the painting has been done with such tenderness that you can almost feel the downdraft of those wings. You hold the book for a long moment, then you look up and notice something you haven't before. A small window at the top of the shelf. Above the wall book, barely the size of a postcard. Through it, in a narrow gap between the buildings outside, you can see a dark strip of sky and a pale smear of rain. It is very peaceful. You breathe in slowly. Old paper, cedar, rain. You breathe out. You carry on. Shop tucked into a corner between shelves labeled poetry and letters and correspondence. There is a chair. Not the armchair where the cat is sleeping, that's a little way off, angled toward a cold iron fireplace. This is a different chair, wooden, high backed, with a cushion on the seat that has been flattened by years of use into something soft and accommodating, shaped by so many different people's gracefulness that it seemed to welcome you before you've even sat down. Beside it, a small side table. On the table, a reading lamp with a screen glass shade. Its light, a deep emerald, a deep gentle emerald. And next to the lamp, a white ceramic mug. You pick it up. It's warm. Whoever left it, the owner perhaps, must have made it just before they stepped out. You lift it to your nose. Chamomile, honey. You sit it down. The cushion gives softly beneath you. The chair is exactly the right size. You let your shoulders drop. You feel the tension you didn't know you were carrying ease away, like water draining slowly from a bath. The rain is a little louder here, or perhaps you're simply more aware of it now that you're still. It patters against the skylight you notice above you, a small rectangle of glass in the low ceiling, rain drawing its soft, irregular patterns across it. Tap, 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 tap. A pause, then tap. The tortoiseshell cat shifts in its armchair nearby, repositioning itself without fully waking, and lets out a long, slow exhale that becomes the quietest, most contented sound you've ever heard. You wrap both hands across the warm ceramic mug. You are nowhere to be found. Nobody needs you right now. Nobody is waiting for an answer or a decision. The world outside, the one with its noise and its speed and its demands, is out there beyond the rain streaked window and is welcome to keep moving without you for a little while. In here, time has thickened. It moves differently, like honey poured slowly from a spoon. You glance at the shelves to your left, poetry, and notice a slim volume at eye level. You don't even need to get up. You can just reach out and take it. Its cover is plain, olive and green, with no illustration. Inside, the poems are printed in a small, clean typeface, each one occupying its own page, with white space around it like a frame of silence. You read one. It's about October, about the particular quality of October light, the way it falls low and gold through leaves that are letting go, about how endings can be beautiful if you're willing to be still enough to notice them. You read it again. Then you set the book in your lap and close your eyes. The rain on the skylight, the warmth of the mug, the deep, even breathing of the sleeping cat, your own breath slowing in and out, in and out. You've lost track of time, and this is perfectly fine. You set the ceramic mug down and rise from the reading chair. Your steps are unhurried. You drift toward the shelf labeled letters and correspondence and stand before it, heads tilted slightly, browsing. There are collections of letters, writers writing to writers, artists writing to lovers, soldiers writing home, explorers writing to cartographers. There's one collection, a chunky, plain covered paperback, simply called Dear Friend, Letters Between Strangers. And the description on the back explains that it covers letters exchanged between people who have never met, connected only by a shared love of a particular garden in a small English town. You smile at this. You think about all the ways people find each other, all the thin threads that connect one life to another, a garden, a bookshop, a shared love of barn owls or October light or chamomile tea. You pull out another volume, a collection of letters written by a naturalist to her sister from the 1890s, describing walks through the Scottish Highlands. The handwriting in the facsimile page is looping and assured, and as you read a few lines about a particular morning on a particular hillside, the sound of a deer makes when it's startled, about the color of the sky when it's on the edge of weather, you feel strangely the cold of the hillside, the bite of that air, and yet you are warm, wonderfully, deeply warm. You slide the letter book back. The shop is even quieter now, if such a thing is possible. Somewhere outside, a car passes slowly, its headlights dragging across the window, and for a moment the shadows in the shop shift and rearrange themselves, and then everything settles again. You find yourself standing before a shelf that isn't labeled at all. Someone has forgotten, or perhaps deliberately chosen not to categorize the section, and as a result, it holds the most eclectic collection you've yet encountered: a manual for clock repair, a book of Welsh mythology, a 1970s guide to houseplants, a collection of fairy tales from Eastern Europe, a slim book on the history of salt. You pick up the fairy tales. The pages are soft with age, and the illustrations, black and white, dense and fine lined, show forests so thick they seem solid, and figures in them who are small and brave and uncertain. In fairy tales, you remember, the characters are always setting out into the unknown. They are always walking into forests without maps, and somehow, almost always, they find their way. You set the book back carefully. You walk back toward the reading chair. The rain has grown heavier. Not alarming, not stormy, just more present. It fills the air above the skylight with a soft, continuous sound, like a river heard from a little distance. If you let your eyes unfocus, if you simply listen, it becomes almost melodic. The random rhythm of it finding patterns, losing them, finding them again. Tap tap, a pause, tap 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 tap, a long slow drizzle, then three quick drops, then quiet, relatively quiet, and then the long soft shushing of rain across the glass. You are back in the reading chair. The mug of chamomile is cooler now, but still comforting to hold. You've turned off the green shaded reading lamp, or perhaps you simply let your hand fall away from it and turn itself down. Or maybe was always dimmer than you remembered, and now the only light comes from the string of warm bulbs along the shelves and the amber glow of the lamp on the counter at the front, which burns on steadily, patient and warm. The cat has shifted again. It has stretched one paw out beyond the edge of its armchair, and the paw hangs in the air at an angle that looks impossible, but the cat clearly finds itself entirely satisfactory. Its eyes remain closed, its breathing remains slow. You watch its side rise and fall for a few breaths, and you find that your own breathing has begun without your trying to match it. Slow in, slow out. The book of poetry rests in your lap, closed now, its thin pages settled. You are thinking about nothing in particular. This is rare. This is lovely. Normally, thoughts come and crowded, and you turn one over and find another beneath it, and then another, and by the time you followed a thought to its end, you're somewhere you didn't need and mean to be, tired in a way you can't quite name. But right now, in this chair, in this warmth, with the rain making its gentle case against the glass, your mind has gone soft and slow, like a stream in the end of summer, running shallow and clear over smooth stones. A thought surfaces. You should travel more. You let it drift past. Another. You need to reply to a message. You let it drift past. Another. You're very comfortable now. This one you keep. You hold it gently, and it's true, and it's enough. You are very comfortable now. You let your head rest back against the high wooden chair. You close your eyes. With your eyes closed, the shop doesn't disappear, it changes. The darkness behind your eyes becomes the dark of old forests, of spaces between stories. You are aware, dimly and pleasantly, of the shelves around you, of all the thousands of pages, all those accumulated hours of imagining. Every book here was once someone's whole world for a season. Someone stayed up too late turning pages. Someone wept on a train. Someone read a sentence and felt suddenly less alone. All of that is still here, held in the paper and ink, patiently and waiting. You think about the inscription in the travel book for R, because you're braver than you know. You hope R knew. You think about the naturalist in the Scottish Highlands. describing the sound a startled deer makes, a sound you can almost hear in the drowsy quiet of your imagining. She wrote those letters over 100 years ago, and somehow they reach you here tonight. What a strange and beautiful thing that is. You think about the barn owl with its white wings spread, silent above the painted darkness. Silence above the darkness. Your breathing has slowed further. Your breath is long and easy. The pauses between them have grown longer too, unhurried. The way time moves in this shop, thicken and soft. The rain finds a new rhythm above you. You let it work. Tap, tap, tap. A slow pour. Tap, tap, tap. A pause so long it feels like held breath. And then a long, quiet rushing as a gathered drop traces its way down the skylight and then is gone. And think about the fairy tales figures walking through its into the forest without maps. You are not afraid of the dark behind your eyes. It is a warm dark, a known dark, dark of a room you've always lived in. Its corners familiar, its sounds reassuring. The cat shifts. You hear the sounds, a soft sound of something settling. It's the cat. You sink a little deeper into the chair. Your hands have gone warm and loose in your lap. Your legs are heavy, not uncomfortably, pleasantly, heavily. The kind of weight that means you don't need to move, that you are exactly where you should be, that there's nowhere in the world you need to be more than here, in the old bookshop, here, here in the warmth, here in the quiet, here. Time continues to pass in its sweet, thickened way. At some point, without your noticing when, the front door opened and closed, and the brass chimed once, and you heard soft footsteps and quiet rearranging of things behind the counter. The shop owner, perhaps, returned from wherever they've been, but no one disturbs you. There's only the soft sound of someone else moving gently through the world at the same unhurried pace as everything else in here. And then stillness again, and the rain. The amber lamp on at the counter still burns. The cat sleeps on. You have drifted somewhere between waking and not waking. The edges of things have been softened. The shapes of the shelves and the strings of warm lights and the rectangles of rain streaked skylight above you have become impressionistic, felt more than seen. You are still aware of yourself, your breathing, your weight of your hands, the slight pressure of the chair's carved wood against your shoulders. But these are distant now, gentle, like the details of a landscape seen from very far away. Your thoughts, what few there are, come slowly. A fragment of the October poem, the low gold light, leaves letting go, the sound of the naturalist's boots on the highland stones, the barn owl hanging silent in the painted sky, and then, less specifically, warmth, softness, The particular piece of being somewhere that holds the memory of many quiet hours, that has been a refuge for many people before you and will be for many people after. You are held, and this is the feeling, simple and complete. You are held. The rain falls on. The shop keeps its silence. Your breath comes and goes as easily and naturally as breathing has always been, as it always has been. Something your body does without asking, faithful and steady, tide after tide, in, out, in, out. There's nothing to do, nowhere to be, nothing to solve. Tonight is only this, and the rain, the warmth, the weight of a sleeping body in a well worn chair, and the whole soft world of sleep opening slowly in front of you like a book you've been meaning to read for a long time, and you finally have all the time in the world. Let it open, let yourself in. You don't need to hold on to anything now. Not this story, not the bookshop, or the rain, or the sleeping cat, or the smell of old paper, not the October poem, not the inscription for R. You can let it all drift, the way the drops of the skylight drift slowly down and disappear. You can let it all go. What remains is just this, you breathing at rest in warmth and safety, with the whole long quiet night ahead of you. Your body knows what to do. It has been doing this your whole life, finding its way night after night into the deep rest it needs. It is very good at this. And tonight, here in this warmth, with all the sounds of the world turned down to rain and slow breath of a sleeping cat, your body can do what it's always known how to do. You don't need to try. You don't need to make anything happen. Just breathe in, out. Let each breath carry something with it. Whatever small tension remains, whatever small worry, whatever small thing you were still gripping without knowing it. Let it all drift. The rain on the skylight is very even now, very continuous. It's almost like a tone, a note held steadily, filling the air above you, filling your hearing, filling the space behind your eyes. Steady, soft, continuous. The bookshop holds you, the old stories hold you, the warmth holds you. You are allowed to rest, you are allowed to sleep, you are safe, you are comfortable, you are held. And the rain falls on, and the night deepens, and somewhere beyond the amber lamp and the wet cobblestones and the darkened street, the whole city is sleeping, and you are sleeping too, softly, slowly, without effort, the way October leaves let go, not falling, but resting, drifting gently down, and coming to last, at last, to stillness. Sleep well, sleep deeply. You've arrived. The bookshop keeps its watch. The rain keeps its gentle work. And you are resting now, all the way, all the way down. Good night.